Testing the audio. Are we live? You know what? If I gave out trophies, which I wish I did, I would give out a complete 10 out of 10 award trophy for Narcotica's Dulce Diablo. I'm not even joking. This is an amber vanilla fragrance, but you know what? It's not just any amber vanilla fragrance. To me, this is one of the best gourmand fragrances of all time. And I don't think anybody can argue that. This was a love at first sniff for me, 100%. The notes of Dulce Diablo are as followed. Apricot, cognac, chocolate, rum, freesia, dried apricot, cocoa, sugarcane, honey, divine oak, moss, Madagascar, vanilla, sandalwood, tonka bean, musk, and patchouli. Let's get in here. Let's do some sprays here. Look at that fine mist atomizer. I'll do 3 because it smells that good. I just took a direct bomb right into the lungs. Now I'm gonna smell good for eternity even after death. Now here we go, let's check this out. Right up top, you get fresh, juicy apricots. They literally smell like you took a fresh, right out of water and just like split them in half, and then that you dunked them in a cup of cognac. You get extreme booziness. As you can tell, I just choked down the booze as I sprayed this. That was absolutely ridiculous. So you get fresh, juicy apricots dunked in booze, and then imagine if you took chocolate and caramel sauce together and just swirled it all in that cup of booze over the apricots. That's what the opening of this fragrance smells like. It's absolutely like mind-bendingly, stunningly good. As this fragrance starts to dry down, that fresh apricot note turns into like a nice chewy dried apricot, and it's just like drizzled in honey and chocolate and caramel sauce. The honey note really starts to come out to me. I don't know what I like better of this fragrance. I don't know if I like the opening better or the dry down because they're both absolutely beautiful. Could you hear that? They're beautiful. The opening's just, I don't know, it's just pure amazing. It really is. The opening just gets you, just smelling it from the bottle. Oh, it's just absolutely amazing. You get this like crazy blast of booze. Let's do one more spray. Let's give one right into the mic here. Like, you get this blast of like heavy booze, almost like a realistic rum note, and it's so good. And then you get that fresh apricot smell. It almost smells like if you took apricots and soaked them in booze and like rum or cognac and then lit it on fire. That's how like intense the opening is. But it's very sweet. It's not overly boozy. It's not too sweet. It's a little bit sweet. And then comes in that chocolate smell, almost like a cocoa powder if you mixed it with caramel and just drizzled it all over those apricots into the booze, and you just swirled around in your glass and you just like chugged it down. That's what the opening of this fragrance is like. 10 out of 10 for the opening alone. For openings in general, I mean, this deserves a trophy and award. You know what? I said this before, we're gonna start doing trophies, right? I'm gonna start literally making trophies and giving fragrances trophies. And then as this dries down, you have an equally beautiful fragrance that goes in a slightly different direction on its own. It just smoothly blends into like vanilla and tonka bean. You smell that, but that dried apricot note just stays in the fragrance through the whole thing. The booziness does take a little bit of a back seat, but that apricot comes through. It's very creamy fragrance because there's sandalwood in here. You know what? I'm also picking up, there's like a little, not too much, but a little bit of a powdery floral that kind of just dances through the fragrance. I feel like it helps balance out the sweetness from keeping this from being a little bit too sweet. This is just absolutely a beautiful fragrance. This is Narcotica's Dulce Diablo. And you know what? It's an expensive fragrance. I mean, this bottle is around $300, $350 maybe. I think it's $300, but you know what? You don't have to pay that because you could check out my new site, the Fragrance Channel Decants. And guess what? I will decant you a sample directly from this bottle. I'm gonna put some links down below. So check that out, go to the site, check out some samples. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not just pushing this, I'm not selling this. This is that good. It really is. If you like gourmand fragrances, which means it's an edible smelling fragrance, it smells like you could eat it, this is top of the class. It really is. In fact, I wanna hear a gourmand fragrance that's better than this. If you have one that, not just a good one, I want one that's better than this. Put that down in the comments because I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna check it out, and I'm gonna put them head to head with Dulce Diablo, but I'm sorry, I'm telling you, it's gonna lose. It really is, it's gonna lose. This fragrance is an absolute stunner. Let's talk about the longevity and the projection. Now, the longevity on this fragrance is really good. It's amazing, super long. I could smell this easily 24 hours after I applied it, especially to clothes. It's definitely a long-lasting fragrance. Now, the projection, I wouldn't say this is beast mode. It's a little bit more moderate. I mean, but when you first spray it, you will smell it. You'll smell it across the room. It'll project well for the first few hours. After the 4-6 hour mark, it gets a little bit more intimate, maybe arm distance, you know, a nice romantic hug. You're gonna smell this fragrance and it's gonna last a long time. And as it dries down, it just gets more sultry and seductive and sweet, and that vanilla note and those dried apricot chewy fruits. I mean, if this fragrance isn't designed to be eaten up, then I don't know what fragrance is. This definitely can be worn in any weather. I mean, if I had to really nitpick that, maybe cooler weather, but I mean, I rock this all summer and I love it, especially summer nights. This is an office safe fragrance. You can wear this to the office. I feel like nobody's gonna find this offensive. This is a pleasant smelling, sweet fragrance, and it really is. It's great. I think this would be an absolute stunner on date nights. I would love to smell this on a woman. If I'd smell this fragrance on a woman on a date night, especially a first date, I'm sorry, I think it just sealed the deal. It really doesn't matter how the date went, this sealed the deal. It really did. And I'm hoping if a man wears this, it would have the same potent, magical effect on a woman that would seal the deal. But you know what? I think it's gonna take a special man to wear this, because this isn't your average man fragrance. This isn't a blue fragrance. This isn't ultra masculine. This isn't an alpha male fragrance. But what this is a sweet, seductive, gourmand, boozy fragrance with vanilla notes, with chocolate notes, with caramel notes, and it just stuns. I can't speak highly about this fragrance enough. In fact, the whole brand Narcotica, everything I've smelled from them so far has been absolute stunners. There's a couple I haven't checked out and I can't wait to check them out in the future. Overall, this is very unisex. It is a very sweet fragrance, like I said, so you have to like sweet fragrances, but it's not too sweet. You know, as far as fragrances go, I mean, if you're just looking for a signature scent, or if you're trying to find the best fragrance on the market, for gourmands, for the edible category, for the dessert, sweet smelling, seductive category, this is honestly as good as it gets. You know, there could be fragrances you prefer more, but this one is an absolute stunner. This is as good as it gets to my nose. It's absolutely amazing from the beginning opening when you smell that fresh, juicy apricot and those boozy notes with the chocolate, all the way to the smooth dry down with the vanilla and the dripping honey. It's just overall good. This is one of my favorite fragrances overall of all time. It's probably right now my #1 gourmand fragrance of all time. It could possibly be the best gourmand fragrance on the market. It's definitely in that argument. It has to be. Unless you're gonna nitpick it for like projection and performance, but on smell alone, this thing is slaying. If you like boozy fragrances, if you like chocolate fragrances, if you like vanilla, if you like honey, if you like smooth, creamy sandalwood and caramel, this is a must try, and you can't get around that. This really is. And I'm gonna say it again, if you wanna sample this, check out the Fragrance Channel Decants, my new online store, and I will make you a sample of this exact fragrance and I will ship it right to your door, buddy or lady. You wanna smell this? Check it out. I'll put some links below. Check out the site. Most of the fragrance I reviewed on the channel are there. I really appreciate the support from all of you, the Frag family. The Fragaholics is what you are. I mean, have a good night, bro. I gotta do another spray, I'm not gonna lie. Oh man, it's so good. I wish, oh, I just tasted the chocolate apricot and moonshine mixed together. That's the vibe you get.